Caitlin Clark never checked in, but her presence owned the building. Nike's Double C lit the concourse, glowed on the jumbotrons, and covered thousands of white tees that made the crowd look like a living emblem. It was part showcase, part send-off to doubt. Because once the ball went up, the spectacle gave way to something sharper: control. Odyssey Sims chased down the opening jump, knife to the rim, and the tone snapped into place. Indiana would dictate pace, contact, and rhythm. Then, the records began. Kelsey Mitchell caught in the corner, rose, splashed, and rewrote a page of franchise history. Most points in a single season and counting. She didn't strut. She sprinted back on defense because this was never about one banner moment. It was about a team that refused to trail for a single second. 20+ every quarter, Seattle held under 20 in each, the margin swelling with a kind of quiet inevitability you only see when everyone understands the assignment. Inside, Aaliyah Boston turned the paint into her jurisdiction. 10 of 18, 27 points with a purpose. The ball found her early on the block, high-low, short roll, duck in, and every touch arrived where it needed to be, on time, on target. When Seattle adjusted, she pivoted to passing, to sealing, to swallowing space on the glass. The milestones landed like thunderclaps. 1,000 career rebounds, the second youngest ever to get there. And one more layer, second fastest in league history to 1,000 boards and 350 assists, a two-way blueprint etched beside a single name from the past. It wasn't stat chasing, it was dominance, calibrated. Toughness wore a face, and it wore swelling. Lexi Hull collided hard. Head to head, the arena sucked the air in all at once, then came back and played like the knot was somebody else's problem. 9 boards, closeouts that stung, elbows dug into passing lanes, off-ball sprints that opened seams for teammates to cut and finish. You didn't need a speech to feel what it meant. With 5 Fever players already out, Hull's return said, the quiet part loud, "We don't blink." The rebounding battle stopped being a battle. It was a surge. Possession after possession reclaimed, second chances ripped away from the storm until the floor tilted and never leveled. From defense to offense, the sequence became a metronome. Block at the rim, outlet, pitch ahead, extra, pass, splash. Mitchell slashed and sliced, the head of the snake searchlights never finding a grip. Sims added her own exclamation, 22 points and a pull-up bank from the stratosphere that detonated the noise. She didn't hunt hero shots, she hunted the right shots and hit them in the moments that bend games. By halftime, it felt different. Not a hot streak, not a burst. Something steadier. The kind of control that frees a team to breathe while they're stepping on the gas. And as the lead hardened, the history kept stacking. Boston, Mitchell, Sims, all over 20, all in under 30 minutes. That almost never happens because most teams don't have 3 engines that heat at once. Indiana did. What made it sing was the math behind the margin. Made more free throws than Seattle attempted, 22 assists on 36 makes, no let-up, no drift. Through it all, the building carried Clark's logo like a heartbeat. It mattered, and not just for the spectacle. Her return lives at the center of everything Indiana is trying to build. Day to day, back in walkthroughs, edging toward live practice, the staff demanding endurance and contact across 94 feet before a green light. Not a cameo, a comeback with teeth. When she's right, the geometry changes overnight. Boston's catches get cleaner. Mitchell's paths to the rim widen. Hull's threes arrive with more air. Sims slices second units to ribbons. You could feel that future humming under the present. If this is who they are without Clark, who are they when she steps back into the fire? The standings flipped as the clock bled out. From 8th at tip to 6th at the horn, a 20-point rout. That said more than the score. 95-75, and a scoreboard that felt like a promise kept. The locker room sound afterward wasn't a party. It was relief braided with resolve. The coach talked about ugly things done beautifully. Urgency. Offensive boards that change endings, deflections that turn into points. The players talked about each other. Next woman up. Stay ready. Do your job like the playoffs started yesterday. That's the part that lingers. 6 records in one night is a headline. The identity is the real story. They found it in a veteran who steadied the game from the first touch, in a star who treats milestones like checkpoints, in a scorer who keeps setting the bar higher for the franchise she leads, in a wing who came back bruised and made toughness contagious. The city showed up for a logo. The team showed up for a statement. So here's what last night really said. The Fever aren't waiting on tomorrow to be dangerous. They're already writing the future, one possession at a time. And when Clark's return turns anticipation into action, this version doesn't disappear. It compounds. It stretches defenses past their breaking points. It gives Indiana layers loud enough to carry through September and echoes pointed straight at 2025. If you're fired up for the Fever, drop it below. What was your favorite pivot point? Mitchell's record, Boston's milestones, Sims' daggers, or Hull's grit? Smash like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss what's next. Click the video on your screen. We'll be there when the lights come up and the stakes rise again.